What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is not the Philly Talk Podcast. We are back. Y'all been asking for it, so Go Talk the Podcast is back, and we are talking training camp, mainly mini camp with the rookies. We heard some good things. Eagles are always in the news outlets because we're always looking to better this team. We signed an offensive lineman, signed another cornerback. We're signing our rookies. But from the 2 days of mini camp, LB, what have you took away from this new generation of Eagles?
That I might have been uninformed about Jalix Hunt. That's my biggest takeaway right there. Because we did a little bit of the draft. We didn't do that the day where he was selected by the
But I
Philadelphia
saw you
Eagles.
on Twitter. I saw you on
Yeah,
Twitter.
yeah, yeah. You saw. I'm like, I don't like this, man. It's like a reach in the third round. I mean, I am extremely not surprised, but I'm just blown away by the way that this coaching staff and the scouting department continues to find gems. I'm actually blown away by it. And he's looking like a real gem and a real fit for what we're trying to do. The top dogs, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, the top two picks. I already know. I like what I'm seeing out of them already, man. Just the discipline, and they seem to be older than what they're being advertised is, since they are rookies, not being. They seem to be ahead of their time, and I like that for sure. And I think everybody's just getting there where they fit in, man. Trot is the fan favorite. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Any offensive lineman we draft, I'm happy they're going to Sterling University. You know what I mean? It just seems like a great class so far.
Yeah, and again, to get another guy from Australia, again, it's not an easy. First of all, doing it one time, taking a rugby player who just has measurables. The guy we brought in, I can't really say his name, but another Australian rugby player, 6'5", 38-inch long arms. Like, he has that. If you don't know what he's playing, your first guess would be, are you a left tackle? Are you a tackle in the NFL? And again, Jordan Mailata did not know how to play football. He know how to hold a big rugby ball, run straight through people. You know what I mean? He knew the gist of it, but he didn't know how to play football. And Stout got him paid twice as a top 5 left tackle. So it's going to be a nice little project we got with this new guy. I'm going to familiar myself with him a little bit more. But you're right. I love the mindset already for the Cooper DeJean and the Quinyon Mitchell. Again, Gate City was live with us when he said, prior to having Quinyon and prior to having Cooper DeJean, right? So this is no bias from Gate City, like, of course he's going to talk good about them. They're Eagles, and of course we got to. He said before it, so I'm going to clip that for one of my next videos, that the two best eyes, meaning in zone coverage for the scheme, that you got to have great recognition and great eyes to play in a Fangio scheme at corner. He's going to let you line up man to man a couple times. He'll let you press once in a blue moon, but you will be playing some off coverage football. And so you have to have good eyes and instincts. And Gate City pointed it out, Quinyon and DeJean, to have the best two prior to them coming to the Eagles. I will say this about Jalix Hunt. I like the pick. At first I didn't know much about him as well, but I don't like to jump to conclusions because, Landon Dickerson, we've seen some picks that were like, huh? And then boom, things come to fruition. But he wasn't a third round pick anymore because of how he wheeling and dealing. Like when we made that trade with the Commanders to go from 50 to 40 and to go from 53 back to 78, that would have been a third round selection there. But then we moved back from 78 to 80 something, then 80 something to 90 something. So where we selected Jalix Hunt was the fourth round, at the end of the fourth round.
Okay, so, yeah. Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I always think of it as a third round pick too, because our third round pick got pushed back to fourth because we moved back 2 times. You know what I mean? So that being said, it might have been a reach if we took him at 78. But at 94 or 96, I think it was right where he should be. And a couple other people's big board had him going in the late 80s. So I think, how he saw the board fall in, he rolled the dice and said, Vic Fangio is banging the table for Jalix Hunt. It might be too early at 78. Let me move back to 80 something, gain some extra picks for next year, and maybe still get him there. Then maybe he saw the board falling differently. Oh, wait, I can move back to 94 and still get Fangio's guy. So again, we talk about this draft in its totality. Even Trevor Keegan, Dylan McMahon, our 2 wide receivers, Anaya Smith and And Johnny Wilson, hey, sorry, Johnny, for me ever trying to disrespect you, talking about possible tight end. He said I'm a wide receiver. I like that. I
That's a
just like
fact.
the mentality to stand on your ground when you got the Steelers trying to make this man. What's the quarterback's name again from the Bear? Slipped my mind.
From the
Bears.
Bears, Fields.
Yeah, they talking about making him a punt returner, a kick returner. Like I like when players stand on their ground, like bro, I'm a quarterback or I'm a wide receiver. That's it. So shout out to them. But the Eagles got 3 picks for next year. We got an extra third, an extra fourth, and an extra fifth. So coming away with this class, these UDFAs signing cornerbacks today that I think have high quality, just football IQ, speed. The blood relations really matter to me. Joey Porter Jr., he gets from his dad, maybe his cousin. We've seen some things. So I just love what the Eagles did for sure. And guys are impressing left and right. Trevor Keegan is, a lot of people say Eagles don't start their rookies. And you're right. There's a lot of competition for right guard, but don't just throw Trevor Keegan out the building. Like he's going to get an opportunity to go against Tyler Steen, to go against Mekhi Becton if they end up moving him to guard, which they did say they're going to play him at tackle first, or at least have him be a tackle first. But man, we definitely got to make sure this offensive line is good. But I just love the class, and I've already loved the things we're hearing from these guys. Like you said, they seem older. They seem more
Right.
prepared than the average ha ha he rookie.
And the cherry on top with the draft was obviously Howie Roseman, the way he played the board and manipulated picks and was still able to get top guys. Listen, in no way, shape, form, or fashion did I think that you would be able to get Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. Like that just doesn't even make sense. So when the board falls like that in your favor, you really can't be mad at a Jalix Hunt pick because that's 3 guys for the defense, and that was our biggest issue. So man, I'm really happy with it. The upside of Aeneas Smith out of the slot, that could be really big time for the Philadelphia Eagles. Real shifty. I think he was close to the top in the nation in breaking tackles. We haven't had like semi-elite level production from the slot receiver position in a very, very long time. I think that's something that he absolutely can bring to the table. You know what I mean? Johnny Wilson, everybody has a role and everybody has a job. I was big on this draft and going into this and thinking like, hey, the Philadelphia Eagles need to grab some players, grab some personnel that can play their role. We got enough superstars. Now you just need guys to come in and play their role. You know what I mean? With the UFDA, the signing that we got today, what was his name? Sean, the cornerback. Let me look his name real quick. Chat, help us out. Help me out real quick, chat.
Yeah, it's Sean Stevens.
Sean Stevens, you know what I mean? Just again, the ability to find these guys and the ability to pull the trigger and say, no, you're not going on another visit. We're keeping you here in Philadelphia. I love it, man. Sean Stevens, went to a smaller school, a little background on him. I think he missed 2 years of college. He had to help his mom with some stuff, but the last 2 years in college, 8 interceptions for 2 different schools, pick sixes, ran a 4.3. Nephew of Joey Porter, you know what I mean? Pittsburgh great. We didn't allow him to go to his next visit. We say, here you go right here. Take this envelope with you and come back to work on Monday. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do, man. We're always looking to, get this roster moving in the right direction. And what's crazy? The background story on how we found the kid, the other kid from Australia, I believe. I think he was like on vacation with his family in Hawaii, just walking on the beach. And our scouts was on vacation like, damn, that dude is big. Who are you? Let me talk to you for a minute. Next, he's a Philadelphia Eagle, man. So, this team continues to go above and beyond to try to put us in the best position to succeed. Now it's all about putting it on a football field. You know what I mean? I did a video on Quinyon Mitchell yesterday, actually. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. And it talks about some of his key attributes, man. That guy got all pro written all over him. You know what I mean? And Cooper DeJean is such a Swiss Army knife and so good at so many things. Cooper DeJean got all pro written over him somewhere, whether it's a corner, whether it's a returner, whether it's a safety. Like he just, the draft was just a smash. It might be better than last year's draft class, man. It could be quietly be better than last year's draft class.
Yeah, I think that the sky is the limit for this draft class, and you gotta wait and see how it all translates on the field. But you're right, man. I do like the corner coming in with some NFL blood. Like I said, he was the AFCA he's an All-American. Again, just sometimes going to a smaller school. We've seen the undrafted players. Jason Peters was undrafted. Hall of Fame
Right.
left tackle. We've had some other guys come in. Look at what Reed's done for us. Look at guys like Marcus Epps, I think was undrafted. Quentin Michaels, a safety for the Eagles for a while, undrafted. So we definitely do our due diligence there. And Jordan Mailata was a 7th-round pick, but that's very close to being undrafted as well. So like them late picks, the Eagles do a good job at zeroing in and figuring things out that benefit this team. Bald Eagle with the $5 super chat. First one of the day. We appreciate the love and support. Hunt will
Yes,
be
sir.
like Graham, a project for years and then be productive for the majority of his career. If you're happy spending a third on that, then I don't know.
I mean, will he be like Graham? I mean, Graham is going into his 15th season. I mean, that's a good career. If you can get a guy who's beloved by the city, a favorite of the city, a guy that's able to teach guys once he gets, in the latter part of his career. I don't know what Hunt will be. You know what I mean? And a third these days ain't really much. It's worth a lot. I mean, we're not going to act like it ain't. But,
it wasn't a third. It was a
right.
fourth. It was we were initially picking at the third, but we traded back here, there. Again, whether it was for him or not, when he was selected, he don't have that third round selection next to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I got a question for you though, Mike. Are you starting Quinyon Mitchell day one over Bradbury?
Yeah, I am. I am.
Listen, I get
it. Bradbury might not even be here, to be honest, post June 1st. Like, there's going to be some real possible consideration to that. Or maybe, you keep him at June 1st comes, we keep him. Like, again, how many times do a team going hard in training camp, next thing you know, they're down 2 corners. Oh, snap. I'm down. Listen, this is a team that wanted to compete for a playoff spot. They're down 2 corners. Well, guess what? Hey, whatever that team is, we got a veteran guy who last year didn't play good. The year before that was all pro. Again, it gives you an opportunity to compete until your guy gets healthy. We move Sam Bradford. I know he's a quarterback, not a cornerback, but we move Bradford for a 1st-round pick. Shoot, I don't even need that much compensation. As long as they take some of the money off our books, you move him for like a 5th or 4th or 6th or whatever you can do if that scenario presents itself. So I'm holding on to Bradbury into the season to see what happens around the league and to make sure my guy's ready. But I believe Quinyon Mitchell's coming for that job. Now, big play Slay will start the whole year. The only way Slay's getting out of there is if he gets injured, and then, who's to say maybe, he gets nicked up and they move DeJean there and he's balling out too, you know what I mean? And he just don't get his job back. But Slay is definitely going to start on one side. I think Quinyon needs to start on the other side. I think it's going to be shown all through training camp, not just rookie camp, training camp, when he's doing things to Smitty or AJ, not saying he's locking him up, but when he's being tested by these guys and he's holding his own better than a Bradbury, I think that's going to be evident. And I think, no matter what the money is being tagged to Bradbury, how he want to win, he's learned to just, move on from his mistakes more now than ever. So I think that's a legit possibility. And as much as I believe the Eagles believe that Cooper DeJean is the future cornerback for the Eagles, I think it makes sense to play him at safety or nickel this year more than outside corner, unless things happen, because I just think that outside corner or cornerback position in general is pretty stacked compared to the safety position. And I'm just trying to maximize my talent. Like, if you could have Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, CJ Garner-Johnson, and Slay on the field at the same time, as much as we say he can play corner, he can play this, he can play that, you got them on the field, I'm feeling comfortable. And again, maybe Reed Blankenship still plays safety, and then DeJean is in the slot, or maybe I don't know where Maddox will be health wise, if that, or maybe what's his name, Isaiah Rodgers trying out for the slot. I know he hasn't done it much in the NFL, but he did it a lot in college, and I keep saying that he didn't do it in Indianapolis because he wasn't allowed to. Kenny Moore can only play in the slot. When you got Kenny Moore on your team, you can't do that. So I think he can play both inside, outside. So I think Vic Fangio just got to get the best talent on the field, and I think DeJean's capable of playing multiple positions, handling a lot. And so I'm just trying to get as many high quality secondary members on the field at the same time. So Slay, Mitchell, CJ Garner-Johnson, DeJean, with whoever plays nickel or whatever, I need to have that some type of combination like that. Can't be having like, DeJean sit. I don't need him sitting. He's just too versatile to sit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
behind
it
the
makes sense.
corner.
And to caveat off of that, having Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean on the field at the same time not only gains experience, but you got two guys that's willing to tackle. We was missing that last year. Those guys want to tackle. You know what I mean? We need to be able to get guys on the ground. So, it's an exciting time for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm a little concerned with defensive tackle though, man. I don't know why. You know what I mean? I haven't, processed a defensive front or defensive tackle room without Fletcher Cox. You know what I mean? So somebody got
He's
to
been
step
here a
up this year.
decade. He's been here,
You know what I
over a
mean?
decade.
Facts. Somebody got to step up this year. And I'm liking a little bit of what I'm saying out of Jordan Davis. It seems like the conditioning is getting there. He's slimming down a little bit. He definitely pumping out the weights. He knows that his time is now. What's your expectations for Jordan Davis? I think that if Jordan Davis stays healthy and his conditioning is, on board, I think Jordan Davis could be looking at a Pro Bowl type of year from a nose tackle position. I think Jordan Davis can be that good if he gets his mind in the game. So what's some realistic expectations for Jordan Davis from you this year?
Yeah, again, be showing effort in the fourth quarter, showing effort in the later part of the season. That's where I think we've seen most of his struggles. I loved how he came on early in the season. He was a one-man wrecking crew and stopping the run, and he was getting at the quarterback. Pressures were up last year in the first 6-7 games. Sacks were up. So I think realistically, with the way this D line rotates and Jalen Carter's versatility, because we've seen Carter play outside too. And
Right.
just the young talent we have all across the board. Even though we let go of a player like Hassan Reddick, I'm looking for Davis to be an anchor of this run support, but also I'm looking for a 4.5 sack season, a 5-piece, a 4-piece. I think he can handle that. You don't run the way he does and move the way he does. Like that Buffalo Bills game showed you his athleticism to the fullest. Now, I'm not asking him to do that every single play as big of a guy he is, right? It might be impossible, but I know there's pass rushing ability there. It just got to come out of him. And like I said, what was it? The Vikings game. What was that, week 2 in 2023? He had a sack and a half, I believe, just in that game, or at least that one sack, and he had like 3 or 4 pressures. Now, I'm not asking him to do that every game because his job is to stop the run, but I do think that's in his arsenal. And I think he can all put it together with what you said, the conditioning. So I'm looking for 4 sacks at least, and him being the reason the Eagles are in the top 10 of stopping the run. You do that,
Right.
and I'm with you. I think it's a success. I think there's going to be a microscope on him, being that, we picked him before the safety at Baltimore, Kyle Hamilton, the fact that he's been hurt a couple times and has that, film at Baldy kind of chewing him up late in the season, whatnot. He has a lot to live up to. But
He got
it's now
something
or
else.
never.
He got something else too. We forgetting about Milton Williams. I'm telling you, man. The more opportunities you give Milton Williams, the more, in my opinion, I feel like Milton Williams is ahead of him on the depth chart. And Milton Williams is naturally and should naturally get more opportunity. And Milton could play a little bit on the outside too. You know what I mean? If we're truly going to a Fangio style defense, you're going to see a lot of Milton Williams on the outside. Sometimes you'll see a little bit of Brandon Graham as well coming in the inside and outside as well. But I mean, I just hope that Jordan Davis can live up to being a first round pick, because right now on the depth chart, to me, it's Milton Williams, man. If Milton Williams was drafted in the first round and he was the guy that this responsibility was falling on to get the reps and show people what he got, Milton Williams would blow people away. But he went to La Tech, later draft pick. And I don't think Milton Williams is going to get the same opportunities as Jordan Davis this year, but he's going to get a lot more. And I think I don't know, man. I just hope these guys can play well together and, shut a lot of people up. But Milton, man, just productive with very limited snaps.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a real true rotation. Like, with
Right.
Fletch being there and actually leading that group last year, didn't really let us know how these guys can handle more snaps. But I think if anybody's going to benefit from Fletch leaving, it's Milton, because Davis's status warrant him the extra snaps. Jalen is that dude. He's going to be on the field. With Fletch leaving, I think who needs to pick up the slack more, who's going to be given the most opportunity that he's has since he's been drafted, is Milton. And so I'm expecting a big year from him too. And I love his ability to get at the quarterback as well. We use him in run support a lot too. But I think that changes in 2024. And I'm excited. You get Bryce Huff, who got to prove it again, right? So the Bryce Huff Hassan Reddick was like the switcheroo. Not saying he is him, but like, you get one, you lose one. Now, can Bryce Huff do it again? We'll see. But people forgetting like Nolan Smith is like a new player just because we were
Right.
so deep at defensive end last year. It wasn't that he wasn't good enough. When you have, again, coming into 2023, BG double digit sacks, Nolan Sweat double digit sacks, Reddick double digit sacks. Who was the 30th overall pick going to push out? Not a double digit sack guy, right? So now we've seen a little Sweat fall back to normal. We'll see what he does, but I think Nolan's role is going to increase. Wouldn't be surprised if like you're seeing in the middle of the season, and I'm not poo-pooing Joshua because I do believe he's more the player we've seen in 22 than 23. That being said, who's to say by week 7, 8, it ain't the Nolan Smith Bryce Huff show? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And just adding Jalix Hunt in the 4th round, I think helps you feel a little bit better about that, defensive end position, losing Hassan Reddick because
Right.
there's
I
so
think the
much
big
potential, but the potential hasn't been seen, so it's a question mark. We'll
right.
know by week 10.
Exactly.
Is the question answered good or bad? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the biggest microscope right now is on the defensive line in general. I mean, you lost Fleck, you all of them. The biggest microscope is on those guys. Now you got some guys like Jalen Carter, who a dog. You know what I mean? Jalen Carter is a born dog from day one. You know what I mean? But the edge rushers, it's not looking the same without Hassan Reddick. Huff basically took like a prove it deal last year. Well, not Huff. I'm sorry. Sweat basically took like a prove it deal to stay with Philly last year. Nobody was calling for his services because he would have been out of here. Huff, you know what I mean, is a guy we've seen do it, but like you said, can he do it again? Nolan Smith, big question mark there. This pass rush has to show and has to prove that, with the guys we lost, the guys that went out of the door, and the agent Brandon Graham, that they're still capable of being top 5 in sacks in the National Football League, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But, we can get to Donnell real quick, man. Did we read this one? Donnell Shipley, thank you for your super chat, bro. He said, so one knock on Howie was he can't draft. With that being said, with the last 2 classes, would you say would you say he fixed that? Yeah, man. I never thought that Howie couldn't draft, to be honest. That was just a narrative spun by.
There were some Jalen Ragers and Whitesides.
But that happens though. Everybody has that shit. Cowboys got some Mozzie Smiths. You know what I mean? That type of stuff happens.
You're right. But like,
yeah,
they were back to back to back, and they were that was the window after the Super Bowl, like where we could have came back even stronger. He kind of poo-pooed on that. Extending that for a little bit, but here's the thing: it was him trying to be smarter than the next guy, right? Going to TCU, going to these smaller schools. So, like that whole Nick Wright argument about the Eagles' board looking like the consensus board. Well, guess what? If all these analysts think these guys are good and we agree with them, that's what you should do. If we would have went with if we would have went with the consensus big board, we would have never drafted Jalen Reagor. All the big boards had Justin Jefferson over him. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like Howie has learned. He doesn't like automatically go to the big schools because we took some little schools guys, especially Jalix Hunt. But I think he's definitely learned that, you know what, if I'm wrong and so is everybody else, you can't just like if Cooper DeJean is not good, you can't yell at Howie because then it's just what happened. I don't believe that's going to happen, but and everybody in the world was wrong at that point because
even Quinyon Mitchell. If Quinyon Mitchell isn't good at this level, you know what I mean. That's not Howie Roseman's fault. It's just not. So like I'm not mad at him for picking Jordan Davis. A lot of people are already trying to give him the bus label, but no. You know what I mean? That's who you were supposed to pick based upon the measurables, based upon what he did at the combine and the dominance he had at Georgia.
Yeah, and the fact that, when our teams have been successful, we've had a dominant D-line, and we knew Fletch and some of these guys were getting older. Shout out to Silverback 2.0 with the $10 super chat. He said, just showing support.
What up, Silverback?
Donnell Shipley, Silverback, and Bald Eagle, all 3 drop super chats. Zero J, been a channel member for 27 months. Cheers, guys. Can't wait for this.
Over 2 years.
What's your prediction on this schedule this year? I can't wait for the schedule to actually come out with who we play exactly what week because all that matters.
Right.
But just from what my remembrance of it was, I mean, shoot, I think our over under is 10.5, and I'm smashing that on all gambling sites. Smashing
Yeah.
over 10.5. I'm putting out like $100 on every more. I'm putting some nice coin down actually on that because I don't believe we'll have under 10 wins. I got us winning, 13ish, something like that. I don't know.
I got
I
us
got to
winning
see
the
the order
division.
and all that, but where you at, LB?
Winning the division. So that's
That's
usually
all that
like
matters.
right. That's usually like 12 wins or something like that. So I got us around. I got us at 11 and a half. I'm going plus 11 and a half.
There we go. There we go. Um. Anyway, shout out to Mark Holmes, sneaky. Oh Lord, off topic, but who up, Drake or Kendrick? Go ahead, LB. I see
Kendrick,
you argue. I've been staying away
stop
from it
it.
because I keep
The
my
Drake, the
own
Drake, the
thoughts on it.
Drake. It's the Drake fans are ridiculous, man. Kendrick is smoking his boots. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna even sugarcoat it. Listen, I'm a Drake fan, but Kendrick is an evil genius. It's
An
Kendrick,
evil
man.
genius.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And again, shout out, hey, you gotta watch the Tom Brady roast though. That's
Yo, I watched it today, yo. I watched it today. They was really roasting, bro. They ain't hold back.
And shout out, you saw, when Kim Kardashian got caught in the crossfire, he was like,
Bro, like 5 times. I'm like, I was like, leave her alone. I was like, what is happening to her, man?
But yeah, I thought it was great. I thought, they definitely broke it. They definitely hit everybody. Nobody was safe there. But
right.
yeah, Tom took it like a champ. You know what I mean? So shout out to that. But
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Now you got it.
I was saying, Eagles fans, don't be mad about what Tom Brady said. Y'all got to keep that's a badge of honor, bro. The GOAT still has a grudge against the city. You know what I mean? Because we got our Super Bowl on him. The GOAT still got a grudge against us. So, it was all fun and games. The roast was definitely fire, though.
Yeah. And again, it's a roast. Like, it's not like he's just waking up on a Sunday morning telling an article that he still hates Philly fans. Like, he got to do it. Like Kevin Hart was on him on his top the whole time too. And of course he's from Philly. And I know, behind the scenes he's rubbing it in. And that's what, Tom Brady gotta hate Philly in New York he gotta hate the NFC East just because that his resume would have been, it's already immaculate, but it would have been way crazier if he ain't run into the Giants twice and the Eagles once. So, well, he did beat us once, but it is what it is. I shine 1-on-1 with that mean profile pick. That offense is going to be crazy. He said, what's up, my guys? I feel before we play the Packers, how we will get a veteran deep tackle and a safety just because we're young in those departments.
I don't think he'll go for safety. I can see D tackle, though. I can see D tackle. You know what I mean? I was surprised we didn't draft the D tackle. I know Sue was still.
Campbell still out there. I know he old.
Calais Campbell, yeah, or Sue.
He like 38, but like he just had like 6 sacks last year. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I would go back and grab Sue. I feel like a lot of DTs would just jump at the chance to play with a young Jalen Carter. You know what I mean? So I would go out there and get Sue. I think Sue still got a lot left in the game.
And here's the thing. Fletch retired because he was here on this team at his age, and we asked him to play the most snaps ever. If iShine feels we need a D tackle, if LB feels we need a D tackle, I'm not arguing against you guys. What I'm going to say is this veteran guy in here, he's not gonna come in here to be asked to lead the position group in snaps. I still think the majority of the snaps got to fall on the Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and Milton Williams. But if you have an Ndamukong Suh, a Calais Campbell in here to play 20% of the snaps, it does free them up, and they can still learn from them all through the season. So I ain't mad at that. And still, I know you don't think about safety, but again, if the Eagles really want DeJean to play corner, if things happen in the all, like Justin Simmons, who once upon a time, let's rewind free agency. Let's say it's March 10th right now. Xavier McKinney and CJ Gardner-Johnson were the two best safeties on the board pre NFL free agency. But third or fourth was Justin Simmons. Now, guess what? The top 3 went off, the top 5, 6, 7, 8, everybody's off the board. He's still chilling. And so the longer he chills, I said this on my channel a bunch of times. After the draft, like he's gonna be like this. You know what? Now I'm just looking for a team that wants me to slide through and play a little bit, help out the youngsters and all that. And so I don't know if Justin Simmons is willing to come here on a 1 year deal. I ain't mad at it. I'm
I
not
ain't
like
mad. I'm
I'm not
not mad at it
respecting it
either.
as much anymore, but I'm not mad at it.
He 30, right?
31.
Yeah. I mean, shit. I would give him a 2 year deal. It's always good to have veterans in certain spots. I think corner Justin Simmons, he don't play like he's 30 though.
No,
That's
he
the thing
don't.
with Justin Simmons. Justin Simmons is still out here playing like he's 25. So I'm not mad at it at all. But I was disappointed in two positions that we didn't draft. You know what I mean? I feel like tight end too. I feel like somehow, some way, this would come back to bite the offense in the butt. And the D tackle, we already talked about that. There's Grant Calcaterra is just not. He's not available enough. He can't provide what Dallas Goedert can. It was so many young tight ends, man, in this draft that were really, really good this year. I think this draft was super deep at tight end, and I just think the Eagles should have went and grabbed one of those tight ends, man.
But so if you okay, so tell me the draftee.
I'll tell you.
Tell me the draftee you're gonna put back in the draft. And who? Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Just and Jalen Hunt could be a dog, but I would have probably drafted Trotter there, and then in Trotter's spot, I would have drafted a tight end. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Or maybe I wouldn't have got the guy from Michigan, the guard, but that's a steal for the guard right there at that position. You know what I mean? That's a steal. But we took a center in the 6th round, and I'm never against us drafting offensive linemen. We got the best offensive line coach in the history of the game, probably. So I'm never against that. But I just feel like tight end too is a crazy concern, man. We did pick up a UD undrafted free agent. What school did he go to? I think he went to Clemson. So no, was it Clemson? No. I don't know, but
we did pick up someone. And listen, remember, we do got that guy we got from the Broncos. Remember what's his name? I call him Big O because his last name is crazy.
Right.
So I think
that seemed a lot like a project to me because he didn't get on the field last year. He was here last year.
He came right before the season started. But we did get a veteran in here who if Goddard got to miss time can maybe do some things with
CJ Uzomah.
Yeah, again,
I like CJ Uzomah though. You know what I mean? When healthy, but I think CJ Uzomah might be like 32.
Well, yeah, and I think that us signing him is in case of an emergency. You know what I mean?
Right.
We don't want him to play that many snaps. But
the emergency happens a lot with Goddard though. That's what I mean. Goddard misses time.
Yeah, and and you're right. The trend was Brent Selleck got 28, 29-ish. We drafted Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz 28, 29. We drafted Goddard. So the trend was there. But I think it was a possibility. But when Howie said, "Hold up, I can get the 2 best defensive backs by waiting at 22 and trading up," like if we don't trade up 50, we got 2 second-round picks. So I really thought like a Ben Sinnott, like around where the Commanders took him via us was a possibility because I like Ben Sinnott's game out of Kansas. Anyways, now he's a Commander, so he stinks. That being said, I thought it was a possibility, but when the board presents that much defensive talent, you switch. You're like,
you got to, man. You got to, especially with Fangio and how he can mold these guys. And Fangio, I think he got a chip on his shoulder too. Who's your what draft pick is? What draft pick do you have the most questions for? We're probably gonna have the same answer. What guy do you think has the most question marks? This guy, who you got the most, like, you know what I mean? Who do you think? I'm not gonna say who you think is gonna be the worst player, but what draft pick did the Philadelphia Eagles just draft that you can simply say that I don't see this guy being a star, and we could have went in a different direction?
Again, although watching what I was able to watch on Jalen Hunt, and knowing how Fangio used the Andrew Van Ginkel, a guy who will drop back and blitz and do different things. How we seen Zach Bombi played at Wisconsin, the same as Andrew Ginkel, Van Ginkel. I'm more on it, but yeah, that was the still like immediately drafts done. Jalen Hunt was my shocker for sure.
I'm not. It's something about Will Shipley that's making me think that that could be the reach for us. That could
What
be
we
the
take
reach
him
for
in?
us.
We took him in the fourth.
Yeah. That actually might end up being the reach because what Will Shipley could very well just be a jack. He just could be just another guy.
Yeah, but
There was nothing.
I think has like the biggest like. See, when you were asking, I wasn't sure how you were stating it because like I
Oh
wanted to
yeah,
say Jeremiah Trotter, not for a guy that I don't believe in or nothing, but I think where he was drafted, plus what we're gonna ask him to do, because other than Devin White, say Nakobe Dean gets hurt week 3, week 2 again, not gonna fake wood because we don't know if Nakobe Dean is good or bad. I honestly don't know because we haven't seen it.
Why we keep questioning this?
Because we haven't seen it. Again, but here's the thing. I'm willing again. He sat his rookie year because he was a rookie, I guess, whatever. Then his second year, we asked him to play, and he physically couldn't. He couldn't like stay healthy. So this is my final year of seeing if he can stay healthy because it's really only 1 year of injuries, minus what we had the reports in college and all that. All that being said, if he does get hurt, guess who's next up? Maybe Jeremiah Trotter. So I think with being a 5th round pick, having his dad's legacy, he might be starting week 4. Who knows? I just think that his plate could be filled up real quick.
Yeah, I know. And Nakobe Dean, he got to be feeling the heat. He got to be feeling the heat. You were bringing X-Man Jr. Like even X-Man Jr. He automatically has a 10-game grace period. He got to be trashed 10 straight weeks before we stop calling him trash. He's gonna get the ultimate chance in Philly. The ultimate, the crowd is going to make if he comes out slow, we're going to give him we're going to keep the training wheels on him because we want him to succeed so bad. We're going to say he need more time.
Yeah, I hear
Dean,
you.
we're doing the same thing for Dean as well. So Dean is really on notice.
Yeah,
Dean got the biggest notice slip of anybody on the team this year.
Yeah, I think Dean and Davis. Dean just got to show me he can stay healthy. Because here's the thing, like I try to put like if you try to make a compilation of all his snaps, how many is it? Like that's the thing. So like even the best analyst in the world, I can't have him say, look, he can't do it or he can do it at the pro level because we just haven't seen enough. Like I think the most we've seen was the preseason, and I thought he looked good in the preseason.
Yeah.
Remember, he got hurt in New England. That was week 1. He got hurt in the first.
So you starting him. So you starting Dean.
Right now, it's Evan White and Nakobe Dean is my starting. Now, who's to say we don't bring a Zach Cunningham back? I think Zach Baum and like that Awuka dude, they're gonna be more of the Andrew Gink
special teams
task, huh?
Yeah. So, no. I'm going to say special teams. Zach Baum, I think he played a lot of special teams too.
Yeah, he'll definitely get some special team play as well. But real quick, Warv with the $10 super chat. We appreciate your love and support. How many corners y'all think we keep, and who are they? And LB, I still can't send you super chats, Brody.
Man, that's been going on for such a long time. I don't know what to do about it. I'll figure it out.
But Silverback was one of them guys who always said that, and I think he sent one to you today. So I don't know how you got him good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes the moderators like block people by accident, and it stops them from doing stuff. So I'm gonna fix it, Worf. I got you, bro.
So go ahead and give me your answer. How many corners and who are they?
I think the Eagles are going to keep 5 corners. I think you'll keep 5 corners. I think you're going to keep Slay. You're going to keep Quinyon. I don't know what we're even going to classify Cooper as, but you're going to keep Cooper. I'll throw him in there. You're going to keep Maddox and Bradbury. If Bradbury stays along. No, I don't know, man. I don't know because we like Keely Ringo. You know what I mean? I don't know. I would say 5 to 6, and then the 6th guy would probably be Keely Ringo. You know what I mean? I think Eli Ricks will probably end up falling to the practice squad.
Yeah, I got us keeping 6 corners. I think they're gonna label DeJean like when the roster comes. Like I think when the roster comes, they're gonna label him more of a safety. Again, he's gonna play everywhere, but if I'm putting DeJean as a safety just to keep as many corners we can, I got Slay. I don't have it, but I think the Eagles will have Bradbury all the way up until a decision got to be made. So we're talking about the roster at training camp. It's Slay, Bradbury, Isaiah Rogers, Keely Ringo, Avante Maddox, and then it gotta be
Quinyon.
huh?
Quinyon.
Oh, Quinyon, yeah. So the
Yeah.
decision is gonna be like, does Eli get put to the side? Does Zach McPherson get put to the side? So a 53-man roster. I know we're gonna go heavy on offensive linemen because we always do that. Again, 7. Will they keep 7? Let's see who we had last year. Last year was Slay,
Yeah,
Bradbury.
McPherson not making a squad. I don't see that happening. We drafted 2 corners. I'm not saying he trash. We drafted 2 corners, and Keely Ringo, he still got he's staying.
Yeah, you're right. And we're so deep there. And again, so last year we didn't have Isaiah Rogers, we didn't have Quinyon, we didn't have Cooper DeJean. So last year we had Ringo, Slay, Bradbury, Maddox, Roby, Eli Ricks, and Job. So we had 7 last year. So I'm gonna say 7 again.
But Job wasn't elevated from the practice squad.
But he was, but then he stayed for a while. So he held that roster spot for a while. So the majority last year we ran with 7 DBs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go 7. So there it is. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, McPherson or Eli Ricks. One of them gots to go. Sorry, but it is what it is.
I would hate the part with Eli Ricks.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Like, I like him, and he just went back to Alabama and got his degree. You know what I mean? Like, he scraped his way onto the roster last year, and he's played some good football. Compared to again, McPherson, he wasn't available.
I'd rather have a guy like Ricks on the practice squad though. A guy who has like experience getting some meaningful snaps.
Yeah,
because usually when you bring a guy right, and you could just elevate him like after we do what we do with Bradbury.
Squad before another team says, "Give me him" as our 6th or 7th guy on the roster.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, he ain't gonna make it. He ain't gonna make it that long.
You can protect up to like 2 or 3 people. I forgot exactly how it works, but there are ways to protect people. But it's like you don't want to like force him to be on your practice squad if another team's want to give him a contract. Like you want him to get his too. So it is what it is. Jose Serrano.
We got a corner from the Raiders. My guy D-Lo must be in the chat.
I forgot Tyler Hall. He's going to get an opportunity in the slot too. Again, I think the people on the edge who are going to be fighting for a spot is Tyler Hall, Zach McPherson, Eli Ricks. That's who I think are going to be fighting for that spot. Now, Tyler Hall is a slot guy. He's not going to play outside. So again,
I don't think Isaiah Rogers is the lock that we all think he is.
No, I don't. And listen, we just signed Joey Porter Jr.'s cousin. You know what I mean?
Right.
What's his name?
Sean Stevens.
So look, I mean, DB, Bradbury might be out. He's out. Sorry.
Yeah. Bradbury might be out. Isaiah Rogers, like I said, I just don't think he's the lock that we think he is, because one thing Isaiah Rogers can do is run and return kicks. You just drafted a guy in Cooper DeJean who could do that as well. Even though if there's not a lot of opportunity for Cooper DeJean, you know what I mean, on the football field playing DB, he could still get some meaningful reps as a punt return. I think Cooper DeJean could take what's the guy that returns the punts for us? I always forget this guy's name. Yeah, I think Cooper DeJean could take Covey's spot, and Covey was damn good. Covey was a Pro Bowler, wasn't he?
Yeah, a Pro Bowl special teamer.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I think he could take Covey's spot. So we'll see, man. That's a tough decision to make.
Yeah, it is. And again, we're adding to the DB room. It's going to be tough. I think Isaiah Rogers making his squad. I like his tape. I went back and watched. Like he was legit when he played when he got in his 11 starts with the Colts. He balled. Like I've seen him in some tough one-on-ones with Devontae Adams. Like I love the dog he has in him. I think he's making it. Same with Ringo. So again, pay attention all through the training camp, that cornerback position, because like y'all just mentioned, Tyler Hall is going to have an opportunity. Steven, what's the guy's name? I keep forgetting it now.
Sean Stevens.
Sean Stevens gonna have an opportunity. So we're gonna see. Jose Serrano with a $2 super chat. He said, if Hutz hits a double, do we forget about Reddick? Do you forget about Reddick if he gets double sacks?
No, I got to keep an eye on what Reddick is going to do, because Reddick is going to have a double this year. You know what I mean? Well, you can't forget about it.
I won't forget about him, but it allows me to be more excited about Huff.
Right.
If he gets a double-digit sack with all the responsibility that he has coming in with a 3-year, $50 million deal, and he's only 26, That means if he got double digits this year at 27, 28, we're about to see back-to-back better years. That's what I'm gonna think.
Yeah, I
If he
agree.
gives me another one this year, I'm gonna raise the bar for him for sure. Bald Eagle with a $2 super chat. Plus 1,600 for Hurts MVP. Easy money.
Easy bread.
Who's hitting that? You hitting that?
Shit, I might as
Drop
well.
100 on it?
Yeah, I might as well.
Little plus 1,600. He win that
Yeah.
joint. That's a nice little payout at the end of the season.
Exactly.
Real quick, shout out to the MVP of the day. I Shine coming through with that $50 banger with Gabe Hall size. I feel he should be told to lose 10 to 15 pounds and back up one of our edges. That cat is huge. Long pause. If he makes the final roster cuts, we need our second team D line to be on point, especially to break our own record in sacks. LB got disconnected. He should be coming back shortly. LB, if you can hear me still, says device not connected. So maybe go out and back in or try to reconnect it. But listen, Gabe Hall, yeah, well, I mean, you said lose 10, 15 pounds. I just started watching more tape on him. I do like him. He is big, long poles, big, worthy. D line's going to be tough. I think if you look at the D tackle position, it's a little open for the simple fact that we did move on from Fletch, and you want to have a 5-man rotation. You know, you're not going to play all 5 guys, but injuries do happen. So I'm watching Hall and just seeing how he could fit on his team, where exactly, how we're going to play him, but he has to make the roster first, right? It's not easy coming with that UDFA tag. Shout out to Eli Ricks. Shout out to Reed Blankenship, guys who came with that UDFA tag and put on and made the roster. But you're right. Look, think about it. Like, we talk about Big Play Slay and James Bradbury being good defensive players in 2022, right? Pro Bowler and Slay, all pro and Bradbury. Say what you want about them now, right? Slay wasn't tackling last year. Either was Bradbury. He was getting cooked. Slay was talking crazy on his podcast. You can say what you want to say in 2023, but we were number 1 in the NFL in pass defense in 2022. And you know why we were number 1?
Mike, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but your screen's black.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I don't know what the hell just happened. Well, I know what happened. My other camera shut off on me, and I plugged it to my other one. I don't know. But hey,
we're gonna figure it out. We've been live for 47 minutes anyways. But look, I'm with you in the sense of, what was I just saying? Oh yeah. Dang, I really lost my point.
He was talking about Gabe Hall. Gabe Hall and his size.
I was oh no, let's talk about Bradbury now. Listen, Bradbury and Slay, 2022, we were number 1 in pass defense, and as much as they played good, a lot of that was because we were a 70 sack team. When you are getting pressure on the quarterback, when the quarterback is scared to hold the ball and he's throwing it this way, throwing it too early, you can make breaks on the ball a lot easier. So I think Bradbury was helped. The Eagles' whole secondary was helped. Now, again, Cedar Gardner-Johnson played good that year. Marcus Epps played pretty decent, got himself a contract. And I do credit some of the things that Bradbury did when playing more zone, and same with Slay, blah, blah, blah. But Shine wants to get back to that 70 sack season. That's going to be tough with these. There's potential on the D-line for sure, but we haven't got the answer. I think this year is going to give us the answer on a lot of these players. But teams with good secondaries also have good pass rush because they go hand in hand. The secondary helps the pass rush. You get 2 lockdown corners. They do their job. Wide receiver needs 6 seconds to get open. 4 or 5 seconds to get open. Quarterback holds it. Pass rush gets there, and vice versa. Pass rush gets there. Quarterback got to get rid of it. So
I almost forgot about Gabe Hall. I think Gabe Hall might be a lock to make this roster, actually.
How many tackles you think we're keeping? Like 5?
I think you got to, man. You got to, simply because you just don't know what you're going to get. You don't have that veteran preference. I think you got to have a good rotation at D tackle.
5 or 6. Again, listen, we're going to do I'm gonna do, of course. I think all the Eagles guys do our own prediction, but we can do a live one too, where when
Yeah.
we do the roster predictions, just saying, okay, we're keeping nine offensive linemen. These are the nine. We're keeping six wide receivers. These are the six. We could do that live too if you want. We can throw notes behind the scenes and stuff, and come up with our full 53 man roster. Not 53, yeah, 53.
Yeah.
But I like to wait a little closer to preseason. Um, you know, I don't
No,
know.
yeah, that's a
We'll
fact. That's
figure
a
it
fact.
out. I kind of it's hard for me seeing the black screen got me
My
all
bad,
messed up in the game.
my bad. Yeah, I probably got to do a whole restart, but we almost to the end, so I ain't gonna do that right now.
Nah, you good, you good. But hey, I shine. You might have something with that because Gabe Hall, at least he's at the position like we just talked about it. Cornerbacks are super deep. Um, what else? Offensive linemen were super deep. The D tackle position in itself, we keep 5 or 6. He might be able to. I think he can. Now him losing 10 to 15 pounds,
That's
that
that's that's
he
easier
going
said than
that
done
he
for
gonna
some of these
do
D
that.
tackles. Yeah, that's
Say it
easier
again.
said than done. So actually, I kind of take that back. When I figured out that we got Gabe Hall, who had a monstrous, Senior Bowl. When I figured out we got Gabe Hall as an undrafted free agent, I was like, okay, this kind of suffices for not drafting a D tackle. So I kind of take that back. The scouting department did their job. They brought somebody in.
Yeah, to compete. And like I said, right now you can look at behind Milton Williams, right behind Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and Milton Williams. You have Marlon T, who when we gave him snaps, he played up to par. Nothing great, nothing bad. A Jomo came in and did some things.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, I'll forget about him.
who
He's
else? Who
just
else was
waiting.
there? So yeah, so right now it looks like you add Gabe Hall. Right now it looks like Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Milton Williams, Marlon T, Ajomo, and Gabe Hall. So like he might only have to beat one person out, or we might just rock with this many. But he's going to be a possibility for sure.
Now, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Eyeshine said he was supposed to go in the 5th round. That's where he had him marked, and he said that's where he said he's seen a couple people mark him. But man, that's an absolute steal. Again, the Eagles have the Eagles as of late been pretty good with some of the UDFAs and late round picks. So hopefully that's a sign of him being a legit player, and we continue it. We've been live for 52 minutes. Listen, we got 703 people in the chat.
That's
Now
fire.
701 people in the chat. Again, we are live on 2 channels, Philly Talk Podcast, and you don't believe me, but LB's there.
Yeah, my bad, y'all, for the camera. I just don't want to restart. It might take 3 minutes to bring everything back up. We're winding down the show. You guys saw my face, my pretty face, for 90% of the show. My bad.
He there. And he paid his cable bill, just his camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something's wrong with the
he
camera,
paid his electric bill. But we're going to be ending this soon anyways. We talked training camp, a lot of moves we made. Let's get a couple super chats out, get some ending thoughts.
I think we got them all.
We just got like 2 more right as I'm about to kind of slow us down. Shout out to Purple Sauce with the $5 super chat. Do y'all like CJ GJ and Sidney Brown, or CJ GJ and Reed, or CJ GJ and DeJean? What's your take, LB?
That's so tough, bro. That's a good damn question. I like CJ GJ and Sidney Brown right now, but Sidney Brown might not be able to go 100% week 1. I think he actually will. You know what I mean? He seemed to be, working pretty well, but I like CJ GJ and Sidney Brown to start. But I just think the combination of CJ GJ is going to bring out the best in all of these guys. So I don't think it really matters.
True, but like I said earlier, hey, if you subscribe to my channel or you were here earlier, I talked about the 4 combination, 4 people I want to see on the field at the same time. I want to see Quinion, I want to see Slay, I want to see DeJean, and I want to see CJ. So for that to work, now listen, you could keep Sidney Brown there and put DeJean in the slot, and so you would still have them on, just add a Sidney Brown. But again, DeJean is a future Eagles corner. But in 2024, he might be. I think safety might be able to slide in there and be just a dog. Like, think of the ball hawk tandem of CJ Garner Johnson. Last time he was an Eagle, the dude straight led the NFL in interceptions while missing time.
Right.
interception leader last time he was on the Eagles. And now we get DeJean, who probably plays the ball in the air better than any. Quinion and DeJean had the best eyes, and DeJean's ball skills might even be better than Quinion. Just the ball skills, balls. So purple sauce. I don't know.
This could truly be a no-fly zone. This could truly be a no-fly zone.
I might have to go to the last one, purple sauce. Let's knock these out. Kyle K with a $2 super chat. Calais Campbell, Yannick Z, Cunningham, 1 year cheap deals. Who would you take for a 1 year cheap deal out of Calais Campbell, D tackle, Yannick Ngankwe, defensive end, or Zach Cunningham, linebacker? Who you taking?
Yannick, hands down, Yannick. I would definitely take Yannick. Yeah, I would go defensive end out of that group for sure.
Listen, I mean, we talked about the potential for this edge rusher with Hunt, Huff, Nolan Smith, BG, and Sweat. I wouldn't be mad at a veteran there, but I'm low-key nervous about linebacker. And listen, Zach Cunningham is not great, and he got hurt a lot, but
he was great at stopping the run, though. He was great on those rushing downs.
Cunningham.
Yeah, he was great on them rushing downs for sure, though.
I mean, he listen, last year, he was our best linebacker. I'm hoping, like, if you bring him back on a 1 year deal, if he plays better than him and one of Jeremiah Trotter or Nakobe Dean can show potential to be better, I'm cool if he's your third best linebacker. You know what I mean? But I just think that in case Nakobe Dean goes down, Trotter's not ready, you can't, you having Devin White out there on an island? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I think you might need to bring him in, and he's still out there. So shout out to Kyle K for letting us know a couple key free agents that are possibilities for the Eagles. It's June. There's nothing to talk about. Howie will pick somebody up and give you something to talk about. Jung Money with a $2 super chat. Oh, we'll be nuts. Haters, we can't score in the second half. That's all going to change. 40 is the minimum on the scoreboard for every Eagles game. I'm just kidding. I'm exaggerating, but I mean, Kellen Moore, you can't ask for more, pun intended, weapons for an offense. You got to agree, LB, right?
No, yeah, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with that one. I think that we'll be able to score faster, and we might be able to take some of the fourth quarters off.
I'm with you. And the last one, Amari Thomas with the $2 super chat. I think we should grab another wide receiver.
I don't. I think we're good there.
Listen, right now it's, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Paris Campbell, who I think Paris, Anais, and Johnny Wilson, that's 3 people fighting for that third wide receiver.
Then you still got Parker.
You got Parker, who I do think he's going to get kicked off the roster when the time comes, but
I don't know. I think he'll end up being our new Greg Ward. I do, and that's a good guy to have. I think that's a good guy to be in that position. I think he'll end up being a new G Ward.
Hey, I ain't mad at it for sure. But yeah, like I said, I think if it lines up, just say because they're rookies and they don't get the same opportunity as Campbell. If you're telling me AJ Devontae, Campbell, who I do like, and then you got Anais Smith and Johnny Wilson as 5 wide receivers with maybe if you go 6 Parker, I mean, I ain't mad at it.
I ain't mad at it at all. I'm ready for
gonna be catching passes too. And we do got John Ross. Here it is. Did John Ross make the roster?
No, I think he's here for competition purposes. I don't think he makes the roster. I mean, he might. Maybe he comes in to stretch the field, scare some people, because we really don't have a burner right now. If you think about it, we don't have nobody with just like blistering speed. We got like tacticians. You know what I mean? If you get somebody that just keep the safeties honest, maybe there's something for him out there, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he couldn't catch so far in his NFL career, but you never know what he worked on. I think we're pretty deep though at wide receiver now. Like back in the day, 4 years ago, I'd be giving John Ross an opportunity to be wide receiver too.
Right.
But now, and he rocking the number 18. I'm like, really?
That's crazy. 5 years ago, he definitely would be wide receiver too.
Yo, I'm telling you, a couple years ago, he might have been wide receiver too. That's crazy how far we came. You know what I mean?
Yeah, now we got arguably the best wide receiver room in the National Football League when you think about it.
Facts, facts. Kyle K coming with another super chat. Appreciate the love and support, my guy. DeJean is Fangio's next All-Pro DB. Look what he did with Eddie Jackson, Justin Simmons, and Javon Holland. All them guys played at the safety position, had a little versatility where they can come in a slot and do some things. I've seen Eddie Jackson once in a while line up outside because an offense may do some wrinkles. He has to go outside. He doesn't do it often. Justin Simmons lined up outside before too. So yes, Fangio knows and loves them versatile DBs who can play safety. And as much as I said Jackson did it and Simmons did it, none of them guys came into the league as versatile as Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, Cooper DeJean is already a guy that could do it all. Yeah, he don't have to be taught a lot of stuff. And you know, the thing about Cooper DeJean, when you look at the tape, just him working out, man, just the hips are real fluid, man. He's just so tactically sound. You know what I mean? I have never seen us. I've never been this happy after a draft about the cornerbacks. I've never been this happy because we've never done what we've done.
Corners.
Right, two back to back is wild, bro. Dude, they both got a hit.
Yeah, and we traded up for one. That's crazy. But look, at the end of the day, I totally agree with Kyle. And listen to the names again. You might not like them names now, but once upon a time, Eddie Jackson was a dog. And when was he a dog? Oh yeah, Fangio was around. Justin Simmons still on the shelf, still a dog. But when did he make the All-Pro? Oh yeah, when Fangio was around. Look what he did with Javon Holland last year. Who was there? Fangio. So you're not only getting a versatile guy who would be good under any DC, but who thrives as a versatile player? Who gets versatile players to thrive? The guy we got. So I'm just so excited. And we talk about DeJean, Quinion, Saquon, Devin White, CJ Garner-Johnson. Jeremy, we talk about the signees and the draftees, but still two of the biggest moves that were made in the offseason is Kellen Moore and Fangio.
That's a fact. That's a fact. They got a huge responsibility, man. A huge responsibility to get this thing how it's supposed to be, man.
Big facts. With that being said, we appreciate everybody who viewed it. We appreciate everybody who hit that like button. If you haven't hit it, still hit it. It helps out. Shout out to Weapon X. He says smash that like button. See, it really do help out. Appreciate the love and support. Everybody who dropped super chats, we love it. And again, I promise you that's LB. And he's not kidnapped. He is safe.
It's me, man. It's me, man.
With that being said, I go by Philly Mike. I think that's LB. You guys what to say?
This is just how Kendrick Lamar would hop on a stream right now. This is exactly how you do it.
And just have the evil laugh, right?
Right.
You got anything going on for this week? It's Monday. We still got a whole week of content to be coming out.
That's a fact. I'm definitely going to talk about Sean Stevens tomorrow. I'm already prepping that video now, so make sure you keep your eyes tuned out to that when it's going to drop around 11.
Facts, and like we always tell you, make sure you got that notification bell on because we don't only go live, we drop recorded videos almost daily. And until next time, y'all know what time it is. We out.